I want you to picture this. You're at home. It's late, quiet, nothing feels wrong. Now imagine, within a few hours, you vanish. No sound, no warning, no trace. That's exactly what happened to Nancy Guthrie. And everything comes down to one number, 278 minutes. From 9:50 p.m. to 2:28 a.m. That's the entire window. That's all it took. Now for months people have been looking at this case the same way. A blurry masked figure, some strange notes, a quiet neighborhood. But today, April 17, 2026, this story changed. Because the FBI isn't just watching anymore. They're moving, and suddenly details that didn't seem important before are now everything. A cheap backpack, a missed subscription, a single strand of hair. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to slow this down. We're going to walk through that night, step by step. And by the time we get to 2:28 a.m., you're going to understand why investigators believe that was the exact moment everything ended. Before we even talk about what happened, you need to understand where it happened. The Catalina foothills. On the surface, it's peaceful, quiet, safe. But let me be real with you. Places like that can also be the perfect place for something to go wrong. Homes are spread out. Neighbors aren't close. At night, it's silent. Nancy Guthrie is 84 years old. She lives alone, but she's not careless. Her house is equipped. Doorbell camera, motion sensors, smart locks. Even her heart is being monitored by a medical app connected to her phone. So if you're thinking, how does someone just disappear from a house like that? That's exactly the question investigators are asking. Now let's go to that night, 9:48 p.m. An Uber pulls into her driveway. Her son-in-law is watching. This moment matters more than you think, because this is the last time anyone sees Nancy. Completely normal. She gets out, walks inside. Nothing feels off. No one's following her. No suspicious movement. Just a normal night. Then 9:50 p.m. the garage door closes. And just like that, we enter the 278-minute window. Now here's the part that should bother you. From that moment on, nothing triggers. No alarms, no alerts, no motion warnings. 4 hours of silence, and that doesn't happen by accident. That tells investigators one thing. Whoever did this wasn't guessing. They knew exactly what they were dealing with. Now we move forward. 1:47 a.m. Something finally happens, but not the way you'd expect. The doorbell camera gets glitched. Not broken, not damaged. Turn off. Let that sink in. This person didn't panic. They didn't rush. They knew exactly where the system was and how to shut it down without setting anything off. That's not random. That's planning. And here's where I want you to think like the person watching this isn't just watching. They are inside that house. Because for those 4 hours before 1:47, someone could have already been there, watching, waiting, learning the timing, and then when the moment is right, they make their move. Now let's talk about the detail that changed everything. The backpack. At first it looks like nothing, just a black hiking bag. But the FBI zooms in, enhances it, studies it, and they identify it, an Ozark Trail backpack. You can buy it at Walmart, cheap, common, everywhere. So why does that matter? Because now the investigation shifts. They're not just looking for a suspect anymore, they're looking for a purchase. Think about that. Every store, every transaction, every buyer, they're going backwards, trying to find the moment this person prepared. And here's what makes this even more unsettling. This person chose something that blends in, something no one would question, which means this wasn't their first thought, this was a decision. Now, this next part is honestly one of the most frustrating details in the entire case. 2:12 a.m. The system detects movement. So technically, there was footage. There was a chance to see everything. But it never saved. Why? Because the cloud subscription had expired. So instead of video, we get nothing. Just a timestamp. And I want you to really think about that for a second. The moment we needed the most evidence was the exact moment it couldn't be recorded. That's not just bad luck, that's devastating. Because right now, we could have had a face. Now we get to the moment everything points to. 2:28 a.m. Nancy's pacemaker stopped syncing with her phone. Now normally that just means she walked away from it. But this wasn't normal. This was a full disconnect. Instant. So here's what investigators are trying to figure out. Was Nancy still in the house at 2:28? Was she taken right then? Or did someone destroy the phone to stop tracking? Because this detail changes everything. If she was still near that phone until that moment, then whatever happened, happened fast and intentional. That's why they call this the digital end of the timeline. After 2:28, there's nothing, no signal, no movement, no trace. Now let's talk about today. Why this case just exploded. DNA, a single hair. At first, it didn't help. Too mixed, too messy. But now, the FBI separated it. And what they're doing next is what's solving cases all over the country. They are building a genetic profile, not just looking for the suspect, but looking for their family. Which means this person could have gone unnoticed for years, and suddenly they are not invisible anymore. So now everything comes back to one question. What happened at 2:28 a.m.? Was that the moment Nancy was taken, or was that the moment someone made sure she could never be tracked again? Because right now, the FBI has the timeline, they have the evidence, and they're closer than they've ever been. An arrest, it's not a matter of if anymore, it's when. But I want to hear from you. If you were investigating this case, what would you focus on? Drop your thoughts below and make sure you're subscribed, because when this breaks, you're going to want to know immediately